Hello guys, once again it's Matt, and today we have another video. Thank you all the members, all the patrons. Make sure to subscribe. We're trying to hit 50,000 subscribers until the end of the year, so help me on that thing, if you will. And let's go guys. So today we are flying out again the F-14B in the dev server against the F-16A. So he's actually using the MatAWG, but I tried against the Block 10 as well. And to be honest, there isn't much to talk about beyond what we already did a little bit with the MiG-29, to be honest. It is kind of like fighting that, but a little bit easier, to be honest. It is the same kind of line of thinking that you have to have there, you have to have here. I wasn't using takeoff flaps, which I should have. So this might change a little bit, and once the update is actually live, I will try with better understanding of the F-14. If you know, I'm not the most experienced F-14 pilot ever, but still. And of course with the energy management that I need to learn how to use it, especially because the F-14B is one of the first aircraft, to be honest, together with the MiG-29 and some others, but the F-14 is really preeminent, this thing, which is just that you have too much power and you have to cut power doing certain maneuvers, which is quite funny actually to have to do this. The more we go into the future, the more these type of aircraft will have this. And of course, I already tried to do some dogfights, and I'm trying to maintain a loop dogfight over here, which is also the best way to actually maintain the enemy in the position that you want. Basically, kinda on the back foot here of it. You know, in the instantaneous turn, if you're not careful with the speed, you normally will lose. So in one circle, you might lose in a head-on, right? But in the two circle, you kind of have a more, a better, you know, chance of not getting destroyed in the first thing. But as you see right there, once the target is actually flying high and he actually can maintain a lower speed, for he to actually produce a fairly good turn rate in the instantaneous turn, he can just turn way more than us. So that's a main thing that I talked about it on the MiG-29 video, you know. It's a matter that the aircraft just takes time. The F-14B takes time to actually start to turn well, I feel like. You know, it's an aircraft that, and together with the F-15, if I'm not mistaken, in the CS as well, these two aircraft, they like to do like the two circles against these other more light and nimble aircraft. And that already tells you that the instantaneous turn of it is not the greatest thing ever, but the continuous turn can be amazing. So the main thing is the first, like, I don't know, 10 to 20 seconds after the merge, while you were trying to avoid the first turns. You know, it's a thing that it doesn't, like, it's not the F-14's fault, to be honest. It is just the way that it's designed, in a sense that I have a feeling that this is just due to the fact that it is a swing wing aircraft and it is quite heavy. So it just takes time to actually lose speed and basically just, you know, it takes time to open up the wings, put out the flaps in a normal condition of a normal fight, right? As you see right here, if I just try to go for the target, I will overshoot. And that's just the way that the aircraft is. Of course, there is a little bit of energy management needed in my personal kind of flying ability here, and no hesitation as well. I mean, I hesitated there a little bit. But in overall sense, the aircraft just takes time to actually properly get going on the turning capabilities, and you have to defend yourself for a little bit, and then you can go for it. As you saw there, the engagement started over again. I kind of hesitated a little bit, so he just had the offensive on me. So this is probably what's going to happen most of the time in the normal battles. You will be kind of in the back foot a lot of the times in the initial phases of the dogfight, if you are fighting a very capable pilot, right? And then afterwards you can use some tools that you have in your toolbox of the F-14B to actually destroy the target. What are those tools? Of course, I think the first one is the sheer power of this aircraft. Even though the thrust weight is probably lowered, just lower than a MiG-29, probably. I would have to just take a look on that. I know it's pretty similar to something like an Su-27, if I'm not mistaken. Like it's 1.0 something, you know, but I don't remember like how much it is properly. So even though it doesn't have an amazing, incredible, out of the charts thrust weight, the sheer power and the producing power of these engines makes that you can actually maintain the aircraft in the optimal speed for turning, something that both the MiG-29 and the F-16 cannot do properly sometimes, you know. So, you know, it is indeed a matter of just getting used to it, and it has this little advantage, you know, that if you use it correctly, it will take a little bit of time, but eventually you will get the target, right? If you do a lot of mistakes, you will die as well. I mean, not a lot of mistakes, but it always, like, it's one mistake and you are back on the first, like, part of the dogfight. So you don't have a lot of time to actually, you know, properly do stuff. Here it's an example of what happens if you actually are in a better position speed-wise in the beginning of the merge, while the other guy is not. So he was too fast. So in the one circle, I actually beated him. So it's, I just got my nose first, right? We didn't shoot him just due to the rules. We try to not do head-ons or anything like that. But still, it is a matter of just, if you do a mistake, you're dead in these aircraft. Because they're very similar in the sense that they have a lot of power, you know, they have a lot of turning capabilities. It's not so prominent, the differences between the aircraft like it was before in props or even older jets, right? So yeah, I managed to make him overshoot here, and then I got him, right? There's nothing he can basically do, and it's basically done. If this was a real combat, he was basically dead, and he was in the game as well, right? So it is a matter of just, you know, getting used to it, to fighting the F-14. It's an aircraft that has its problems, but it's up there, man. It really is up there. When he's actually in his better speed, as you see, the one circle, you just lose, right? So this is the thing. You have to really be careful at the start of the dogfight, in my opinion, because at the start of the dogfight, if the target doesn't like go into a proper speed, he will basically lose a lot more. But I just feel like against the F-16 in particular, it's a little bit easier than the MiG-29. I don't know why, it just feels that the MiG-29 can go a little bit more in the instantaneous turn, just a little bit more, that makes it impossible basically to win in a one circle, right? And you have to just go for the two circle. While in the F-16, it depends on the situation, and it's more probably due to the fact of that kind of cap on the fly-by-wire system of the F-16, that it just doesn't let you kind of turn more than you want, and the MiG-29 is a little bit more flexible on that. So it's probably just due to that, but still the differences are very small here. I still think that it will always depend on the pilot to actually win these dogfights, because one mistake can make you dead and there's nothing you can do. And as you see right here on the vertical loops, man, the F-14 really shines. It really, I don't know, I really don't like the idea of putting myself into a rate fight. So I just, with the F-14, so I really like to do the loops. And eventually I did the loops and I got him on a defensive right there, and I got the kill. So yeah, let me know in the comments what you think about the F-14 against the F-16. I think it's very similar to the MiG-29, but still a little bit different. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed. Bye.